Hello, hi, and today we will continue with a case study for the five piece framework for advocacy communication. And the case study that I'll be using is about the Kano Smallholder Tomato Farmers Association. So it reads thus. In early 2025, the Kano Smallholder Tomato Farmers Association needed reliable water to boost yields. Without irrigation, harvests were erratic, incomes stagnated, and food waste skyrocketed. So they launched an advocacy campaign to secure 100 million naira grants in the state budget for solar powered irrigation systems. And they used the five P's every step of the way for their advocacy campaign. So they started with the first P, which is what's the single clear goal? The first P is purpose. What is the single clear goal for this campaign that is started? So the campaign purpose is to secure 100 million naira in the 2026 Kano State budget for solar powered irrigation pilot projects across five local government areas. And why does this matter? Because by defining this one sentence of why it matters, every one of your ally, every one of your stakeholders, the different sectors of your stakeholders, they know exactly what success will look like for you. Because on this campaign purpose, so what success will look like is the disbursement and implementation process, execution process of the 100 million for the solar powered irrigation projects across five local government for the pilot phase first. And so that is the first P. Then the second one is people. Who do you need on your side? So they need to look at your different categories of stakeholders that they need. So these were divided into four different groups. The first one is the governors of his Ministry of Agriculture. They will definitely need support from Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. They will need support from the Ministry of Finance mostly as well. So they looked at this. And then the second categories are the influencers, which are the local councillors in Bichi, the Gizawa, Kura, Madobi, and Dawan Kinkudu. These are the five local governments that will be used as pilot projects for the first phase of this. And then they need allies, which are the NGOs like the Nigerian Immigration Developers Association, Youth Run AgTech. So they look at this, the different kind of allies, the people that are working in the agri sector and the NGO space that can help them. And more importantly, they need amplifiers. So these are people that will spread the message of what they want to achieve. The community radio stations, local newspaper. So an example in action would be the association held a briefing with the agriculture commissioner, who is a stakeholder, and then enlisted a respected community chiefs to introduce them at a farmers forum, ensuring both official buy-in and grassroots buzz. So this is the work of the P when you're crafting your campaign. And then the next one we'll move on to is a proposition. So what exactly are you asking for? And this is where we answer the five W's and H. So in summary, all they did was they put together all these answers in a one-page policy brief, which is what they really want, the 100 million naira grant, and when they need it by 2026 in the side of budget, and where five local governments with highest tomato production will be the first set of pilot phase. And who are they addressing all this? Still the Kano state government. And why specifically do they need this? Which is to increase tomato yield by 50% and reduce post-harvest losses and raise 5,000 farming household out of poverty. So why this particular method will work very well is because it's a one-page policy brief that answer the key and core questions. So it makes it easier for anybody to pick up the document, scan, and they will understand the ask of what they are asking, and then they will see the impact, which is the results that this particular ask, if successful, is going to yield for them. And then the next P is proof. So how do you back up your ask? So This is where data comes in and storytelling, where you have empathy and you have uh, evidence with data. So you say that Kanu farmers lose up to 30% of tomatoes each season because of reliance on rain alone. So who's the source of this data? You need to always make sure you put source of your data. And then the story say somebody's story. Before irrigation, I sold only 3 crates a week. Last month I sold 10 crates. So these are like the effects of having this. What will be the effect if this is done to impact people's life? And the impact will be combining the bar charts of ports of harvest losses with Musa's testimony. We give the officials both the scale and of the problem and the human face, making the grand feel achievable. So it's just looking at how you tell your story mixed with data to put a human face to it. And the last piece, persistence. So how do you keep your momentum after the yes? So this is where the phase when you're doing project management we call monitoring and evaluation. So you have regular check-ins, public updates, community monitoring, and the result is by mid 2026. 3 pilot sites were live, over 2,000 farmers had access to reliable water, and the association was already planning to scale to 10 more local governments. I hope this case study has been able to put the 5 P's into perspective for you as a person and you understand it and how you can use it during your campaign. So, thank you. Subscribe for more videos and to know when videos are dropping. And I hope this has been helpful. So, please put your comments below and have a good day. Thank you.